Hello, hello.
Hear me?
Yes, yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay.
All right. So just making sure um, that. So we have the chat, and then there's a session here. Okay, cool. So it seems like we are on. Thanks, everybody. Let me just maybe remove this in here from my view, and there we go. All right, all right. So hopefully some of you. So I see they say yes, I see and hear. Anyone else can just confirm. So I think we should be good, right? Yes, cool. All right, excellent, excellent, excellent. So just let me make sure here that I have my setup ready. All right, we should be all good. All right, hi everyone. I'm Marcos Carvalho, co-founder at Boundless Life. I'm an entrepreneur who co-founded several companies inspired by the trends influencing the future of humanity and whose missions are to streamline major life events. I consider myself a world citizen who was born in Brazil, raised between Brazil, France, United States, and Canada, and I have been living this nomadic lifestyle and managing remote teams for the past 5 years. I'm here today with Suzanne Perkovsky, co-founder at New Nordic School, Boundless Life's partner and advisor in creating this fantastic education system that we will present now. Thank you very much for attending our keynote. We feel very fortunate to be here today with all of you. Let me quickly introduce Boundless Life to all of you. Our mission is to empower people to have more fulfilling lives. For that, we are designing a lifestyle enabling balance, growth, and deeper connections with ourselves, our families, nature, and the world. And we are executing on this mission by offering a network of thoughtfully designed communities in beautiful destinations around the world where families can develop connections, work remotely, be culturally immersed, while children benefit from a transformational and future-ready education system. And I've been watching the panels and presentations at the conference and realized that many of the speakers already know each other. I understand that the digital nomad industry is a fast-growing one, but it's still relatively small, where the main players already know each other. So I think it's important to take time to introduce our team so everyone gets to know us a little better. We are composed of young families, entrepreneurs, digital remote workers, passionate about discovering the amazing things our planet has to offer. So Boundless Life blends relocation, education, and superior customer experience. And our team is the one that has what it takes to execute on this project. Elena is a hospitality industry expert who oversaw more than 700 Marriott International properties and loyalty program. I was raised in the hospitality industry and worked for 14 years for an event company owned by my family and acquired by the second largest group in the industry before becoming a tech entrepreneur. I'm passionate about empowering children to prepare for real life, and I volunteer and sat on the board of multiple NGOs, including Junior Achievement. With Moro, we co-founded and exited two companies in prop tech, one being the first online relocation platform to help more than 1 million people find new homes. Mauro also spent many years in M&A in the travel industry before becoming a serial entrepreneur and expanding his family's real estate investment business. Reka is a leader in the alternative education movement, helped build prestigious forward-thinking learning centers, and is an award-winning EdTech CEO. Our founding team is supported by top advisors and investors actively helping the development of our movement. Parag Khanna is a futurologist, a leading global strategy advisor, world traveler, and best-selling author. He's the founder and managing partner of FutureMap, a data and scenario-based strategic advisory firm. Parag was named one of Esquire's 75 most influential people in the 21st century and is featured in Wire Magazine's Smart List. He has traveled to nearly 150 countries and is a young global leader of the World Economic Forum. Parag's latest book is named Move, the Forces Uprooting Us. I highly recommend everyone interested in mobility and the future of living to read this book. Amanda is an entrepreneur, educator, and community building expert who helps clients such as Google, HubSpot, and WeWork. Mike Peller is an education expert who acquired his credentials by helping launch one of the most prestigious alternative schools in North America, the Nueva School in the Silicon Valley. Since I have the privilege to have Suzanne on the call today, I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. For me, I'm one of the co-founders of New Nordic School out of Finland. And my background has been purely educational until we started New Nordic School. But what I love, one of the reasons we started New Nordic School is to offer an alternative education that still meets the requirements that we have responsibility for to our kids. And in working with Boundless, what we found this amazing connection where we can offer families and especially children something that takes them out of the box that is education at the moment. One of the most inspiring talks is by Sir Ken Robinson, where he said, schools educate children out of creativity. And he was always promoting, looking for that creativity back again and giving kids the opportunity. And I think the partnership with Boundless is really going to make that come alive and allow children and allow the Boundless education centers to just give kids that creativity back, that joy of learning with everything we do. So very excited about that. And also all the experience from the past 30 years living in all very, very diverse countries and getting educational qualifications from the US, the UK, Finland. It's brought this together. And what we're going to offer the kids within Boundless is going to be something absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Suzanne. So our team's international and multicultural background and extensive traveling experience gave us a competitive advantage in life that we wish everyone could have. After exiting our last company, we decided that we wanted to go all in as nomads, but this time bringing our spouses and children with us. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we could not find a solution adapted to our needs that could provide the structure we need to explore the world while being able to commit as usual to our daily responsibilities and educate our children in an optimal way. We knew we didn't want to homeschool or couldn't homeschool. So like other companies that we have created, Boundless Life was born out of our need to find a solution to problems we have faced ourselves. We end up speaking with more than 1,000 families and some of the best experts in mobility, education, and the future of living to create a solution checking all the boxes to facilitate this new one-of-a-kind lifestyle. So for us today, there's no doubt that the digital nomad life is the ideal lifestyle to grow, educate our children, and have more fulfilling existences while contributing to a brighter future for humanity. This is why there is nothing else I would rather be doing at this time than working on building this fantastic movement. And education is at the core of everything we do. We believe that if we can fix education, we can fix the world. And we have the duty to fix education, as it's completely outdated, in many ways harmful to our children, and the future of humanity. We have been victims of an industrial era education system designed to separate parents from children so that they could work long hours in factories and jobs that will not survive the digital economy. This archaic system is at the source of many of our trauma and can be directly linked to our lack of capacity to understand differences, manage conflicts, and solve problems. Like the architect, author, and futurist Richard Buckminster Fuller, we believe that we cannot change things by fighting the existing reality, and that we need to build a new model so that we can make the existing model obsolete. This is why we are building Boundless Life, to completely revolutionize the way families live, work, and learn. And as many of you probably already know, modern humans have lived as nomads for 99% of our history. But the Industrial Revolution made us settle in large cities. Today, we are rethinking the future of humanity so that we can find happiness by reconnecting with a more natural way of living, but this time powered by technology. A lifestyle inspired by the Blue Zones and combining slow traveling with superior education. The perfect combo enabling us to raise empathic, compassionate, and kind children, having the skills needed to work on challenges faced by humanity and to build the world they want to have. To make all of this possible, we need to build a strong and reliable structure so that we can facilitate the transition to this one-of-a-kind new lifestyle. For that, Boundless Life is offering a turnkey solution composed of turnkey homes designed specifically with families in mind, a cutting-edge education system that follows children anywhere, a stimulating and collaborative co-working hub, and a community families can belong to regardless of where they are. The Boundless Villages are organized communities of 25 to 50 families composed of homes designed to respect each family's privacy while being immersed in the local environment and its culture. We offer fully furnished and equipped premium long-stay residences adapted to each family's needs. Our villages have all the necessary amenities for our members to live, work, grow, and play comfortably while sustainably exploring the surroundings. Here's an example of what our destination in the historical town of Sintra in Portugal looks like. Our setup is made so that you can rapidly feel at home and live like a local. Our residences are located in the center of the town, around all the amenities families need. They are just 5 to 20 minutes maximum walking distance from our hub and education center. So Boundless Sintra is the ideal location to experience this boundless life. It's a magical place, a UNESCO World Heritage Site located on the Portuguese Riviera, full of enchanting palace, historical fortifications, and museums. It's just 45 minutes away by train from Lisbon. It's pretty much within a national park and just 15 minutes away from the ocean. I personally can't wait to move there. Another great feature of what we are doing are our local ambassadors. These are local residents, members of our team. So their number one mission is to help families feel at home as soon as they arrive and support their cultural immersion. They help families save precious research time by connecting them with local people, organizations, and service providers according to their desires. They take them around and show them everything they need to know to feel like a local. Like, say, for example, families like a certain type of food. They will introduce you to the owner of the restaurant that better fits your taste. If your kids want to practice specific activities or sports, They will make sure that your families can find a spot in the local team. Maybe your family needs specific appliance on your home. The ambassador will make sure that it's there for you when you arrive. And we're leveraging technology to facilitate the transition to the Boundless Life and bring the community together. Our online platform offers a set of tools to streamline the traveling process. We support families with everything from enabling unique local experiences, travel arrangements, mobile plans, health plans, mailing, banking, visas, and even taxation advice. And because we can easily understand each family's needs, we can provide personalized service and ensure everything is set up according to their preference. Our platform also gives access to discounts provided by vetted service providers. And the app is also a great way to stay connected to the Boundless Life community. Plan your next stay and be up to date with all the information you need to have a great local experience while exchanging with friends that you make along the way. So alongside empowering Boundless Life families to live more fulfilling lives, our goal is to have a positive impact wherever we go. And also to give families who want to give back the opportunity to do so. We believe that nothing can help us have more fulfilling lives than giving first. So like Gonzalo presented yesterday, what he's doing and his team is doing at Madeira, we will also be doing our best to have measurable positive impact in the local communities. We are leveraging our installations and the talents in our community to develop prosperity hubs in the destinations we spend time in. The mission is to help reduce social and economic gaps by supporting digital inclusion and help reduce immigration, poverty, while also promoting local traditions. We will be providing workshops, trainings, internships, and scholarships to those living in the neighboring communities. Now, at the core of this movement is the Boundless Education system. I will pass the torch to Suzanne now, our education expert, so that she can present in detail the Boundless Education system, the first system empowering families to educate their children by experiencing the world.
Thank you, Marcos. As in the introduction, what I shared is that the joy of what Boundless wants to do with children while giving families the opportunity to continue in a lifestyle that they haven't necessarily felt security in, because when it comes to our children's education, it's really important that we feel that we're giving them the best possibilities. And that's literally the heart, the core of Boundless Life, what Boundless Life is giving you beyond just a great experience and a great co-working space and doing all the background work to find you perfect places to live. We're also giving you the security of knowing that your children will have education that can follow them. So it's a mix of traditional education and then this innovative system that we are co-creating here. And that will allow you and your children to experience the world and learn. And the heart of what we do, our vision is to empower a community of active and impactful learners. And as you can see here, our mission is to provide the children for an unknown future, to give them and prepare them for an unknown future. And we can only do this by allowing them to be creative, allowing them to be innovative, to adapt to what is happening every day. The world is changing so fast that we need to give our kids these skills to adapt. Collaborative problem solvers, that is so very much a key to the future, because we don't know what the future problems are going to be or the future issues. But allowing and preparing the kids for that is is an amazing skill that they will learn. And also communicating, excellent communication skills with everything that is happening in the school and outside of the school. So one of the most inspiring people in the education world is Sir Ken Robinson, who always spoke up for changing education as it stands. Marcos mentioned the Industrial Revolution and how education as it is today came of that. And Sir Ken Robinson was one of the ones who said that we need to change that. And the best way to do it is by allowing kids to make mistakes. And he says we stigmatize mistakes, and we're now running an educational system where mistakes are the worst thing you can make. And the result is we're educating people out of their creative capabilities. The heart of what we do is through our values. And our values are to be bold, to innovate, to connect, and resilience. So being bold, having a growth mindset and embracing change, taking risks, that key factor, making mistakes and learning from them. And in the previous panel that Marcos and I were in, we were talking about families and how they adapt. And one of the things that's really, really, really important is allowing ourselves to make mistakes, allowing others to make mistakes and learn from them. And as a family and as kids are really afraid of making mistakes because they look up at an adult and they have this fear in their eyes. And that should not be the case. And it's something that we've always, as a family, in every school, every bit of education, to say, learn from your mistakes and not make it a bad experience. How do we make this a positive experience for the kids? And then we talk about innovation. How can we innovate when we cut back creativity? So in order to innovate, we have to be able to nurture the creativity in kids. And that is really another key factor. Connections. The best results are reached through collaboration and building connections. And what's very important to Boundless Life is respecting yourself and looking after your well-being, respecting nature. If you can't respect nature, how can you respect anything else? And then key to that is respecting each other. And then the final value that we have is also resilience, emotional well-being. It develops balance, it develops concentration, empathy, and empowering ourselves through mindfulness. And we're actually very lucky because Rekha, who's one of the co-founders and whose idea it was for the educational part, she is actually a mindful scholar and has had a very solid background in mindfulness. So we've got very strong expertise there as well. So when we started working with Boundless, they were looking at different educational systems. And of course, then you came to Finland. And that's when New Nordic Schools started working with Boundless, because what we have is we have an education system that's based on the Finnish educational system. And it's Finnish education. Anybody who has anything to do with education recognizes that Finland is a leader in education. And I've been really fortunate because I had my first qualification from the US and then from UK and then now from Finland as well. And seeing the gems that Finnish education comes out with. And if you look at the PISA studies and things, people say, oh, Finnish education might be going down. But that is not the case. What Finnish education does better than anywhere else is well-being and happiness. I mean, Finland has been voted the happiest country in the world for multiple years now. And I think it's finding that good balance between academics and well-being and life outside of the classroom. And that's what, again, Boundless is promoting more and more. So very important part. Sorry, it takes a few seconds because Marcos is leading the changing of the slides. So our learning pillars, when we were building the whole system, we built it around these learning pillars. So one is the experiential learning, and it's learning by doing, that children are exposed to new concepts and new skills and a very hands-on approach. When we have, for example, a location like Sintra, why should we keep them in the classroom? We start the day outside. We leverage the environment around us, the people around us, the parents. Parents have all this expertise. We want to leverage all of that for the kids so they get the best combination of education that is possible. Very project-based learning to develop the entrepreneurial mindset, to think about critical thinking, interdisciplinary communication. And for me, the biggest thing, one of the biggest impacts is finding the connection between things. Through project-based learning and the interdisciplinariness, kids start to understand, math depends on geography and science, finding that connection and the value of each subject instead of learning concepts and subjects in silos. And that's when it starts to come alive in the classroom. Personalized learning is very, very important, because personalized learning gives kids an opportunity. We've got kids coming in from all over the world. They're moving from destination to destination. They're going to have these amazing experiences, and they're going to come in, some who are very advanced in math, some who are very advanced in English, some who have just amazing skills to share their learning, maybe not in a traditional paper and pencil way, but in many, many other ways. When it's personalized, we give these kids the best opportunity ever, the best opportunity to share their learning, to understand their learning. And when they can share their learning in different ways, that's when we get other kids connected. Immediately, when other kids in the class or in a different class, when they have the opportunity to listen to a peer and another child in a fun way, how much more attractive and beneficial is that than having to listen to a teacher go on and on like I'm doing right now with everything? Absolutely brilliant there. And purposeful. So finding that personal connection and bringing a purpose in, and we'll touch on this in a bit as well, by bringing the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So finding the kids, finding that purpose is what's amazing. And that's when it comes alive. I was in a school training some teachers in the UK last week, and we interviewed some kids, and I asked them that, what did you get out of this system and learning like this? And he said to me, he said, with everything we've done, I used to say I wanted to be a professional footballer. And now I want to make electric cars. I want to do something that's actually going to improve the environment. And it was a huge change for a 10-year-old boy to say that. So he found his purpose through what we were doing. And then, as I said, the mindful well-being is a big part of what we do, thanks to Rekha's experience in mindfulness. And it matched very well with New Nordic School's experience as well, that we wanted that mindfulness when we have kids and families with all the electronics and the technology around, having kids understand themselves and being able to speak up and be aware of their needs and their self. Very, very important. And of course, future ready. We don't necessarily know what the future is going to hold, but if we give them the skills to manage, we give them the skills to manage themselves, to find a purpose, to find connections, to make everything personalized, that's where the future readiness comes from. Yeah. So as we've shared, we've been inspired by the finest ingredients from the most forward-thinking educational practices. And we're putting together these pillars and creating this whole learning experience and the whole system. And what is key here is that the system will be synchronized from one destination to another. So when families move from one destination to the other, the children will have similar experiences. They will not miss out educationally. And eventually, what we would like to have is also for families within the Boundless Life family, that we also offer opportunities further down as we develop for an online learning. And that's when kids will really, they won't miss out. If a family has to step out for a reason, they can come back, and you get, through the online platform, you get everything that we are doing in the classroom in a different way. But in every destination, what we want is, we want to leverage the cultural immersion, the hands-on experiences, the academics. But instead of teaching to the UK curriculum, which talks about and wants the kids to learn the kings and queens of England. For example, when we're in Sintra, we have access to the palaces there. You have the Moors who were there. You have all this history that we don't learn, and we don't work with country-specific kings and queens. We learn about the concept of the kings and queens, of royalty, of how they came to Sintra. We make it country-specific and destination-specific, so it actually has real meaning to the kids. And when we touched upon the platform moving forward, that's where we will have this mastery-based curriculum embedded in the platform, and the AI for the personalized learning, so that it will automatically be able to say, this is where a child is at. So when a child moves from one destination to another, there doesn't have to be reams of paperwork and evidence. Everything will be on the platform, and that transition will happen very, very seamlessly. And in the platform, we also have curated resources in math and English and science and problem solving. In history, you can access history from different countries. And what we have there in the platform is the whole of Britannica education. So through the platform, we can access everything that Britannica, which is the oldest encyclopedia in the world, we have all of their lessons, all of their educational material, and at different reading levels for the kids, different levels of grade levels for the kids. So very, very personalized once again.
One thing I would like to add is how we are changing education structurally, right? Because we are actually offering 2-month project-based modules. So just 2 months instead of a rigid 10-month curriculum. And that's really the way we're able to provide education for families that keep traveling. You're not stuck in this 10-month curriculum. You come, you do a 2-month project-based module, and you do that by leveraging the local culture. You do that enabling high involvement from parents. And then you go to another destination, and then you can do another 2 months or 4 months and follow the same structure, but now leveraging a very different culture, right? And that's really a very unique piece. And this is how we are transforming education structurally, sorry. And you, Suzanne, you were talking about the online platform. You already went ahead and discussed that. Maybe you want to add something about it. This slide provides more details about it.
It does. I know I get ahead of myself sometimes with things.
It's okay.
It's just the excitement of being able to offer something like this. So the briefcase will be a portfolio. All of these parts will be in the educational platform. And the briefcase is a portfolio of the work. So there's evidence to follow the kids. If they have to go eventually to university, universities are moving more and more towards portfolios now than they ever were before. And I truly believe that in the coming 5 years or so, more portfolios will be accepted as opposed to big end of school exams, because that shows the true evidence of what a child is capable of doing and where a child is at, and the learning process, which doesn't happen in exams. So this is going to be very, very key to kids moving on. And then we have a reading nook where there can be, different books that kids can refer books. Adults will have books in there, and we're already starting building that with a different online platform till this one is ready. We're going to have a badge system, and the badge system will relate to other aspects of the whole system that we have. So, for example, in nature, a badge system similar to the Scouts, where if you pitch a tent, you get a badge for that. If you can start a fire, if you know how to put out a fire, even more important than starting a fire sometimes, there will be different badges that we will create along the way. And I think with the badge system, the only limit is our imagination with what we can do in all these different places when we have these opportunities. Pen pals, brilliant way to share with other kids. We might be in Sintra with one family, and then you move on and you separate. But these kids could then communicate with each other, and you could have within the Boundless Life family, you can have pen pals, or even without beyond the Boundless Life family. Very, very important. Again, in the last discussion, they were talking about connections and how the kids feel that they're connected to a place or a destination or a family or a group. I mean, the definition of family differs from one to another, but pen pals is a wonderful way of keeping in touch with each other. And if we enable it to happen in this easy way, it's just like sending a text message, but it encourages you a little bit more. And then the world, like sharing news, innovations with the creative lab. I feel that both of them work hand in hand, and where kids can create things and they can share with each other and share news of what they've done or what they've seen in a destination, what they've experienced there. And each one's experience might be a little bit different. So all of that will be on our platform.
Yeah, to add on the briefcase, I remember many, many years ago when I got accepted in a business school, wasn't because I had great grades, was because I went to an interview. And I remember that school asking me, okay, why should we accept you? What's so unique about you? What have you done in your life? What experience you have? And because I had traveled to so many countries, I spoke so many languages, already had some work experience. That's what made me be accepted in that specific business school. And that's very inspired too by how homeschoolers today are being accepted in some of the best universities or high schools around the world by presenting the projects they worked on while studying by themselves with their parents, for example. So the briefcase is inspired by all of that and bringing all of those experiences together. And our children will be able to say, yeah, at 12-year-old, I started my first NGO. And then with my friends, we created this company, and that's the problem we solved. And here it is, and that's so unique to be able to have that and track that I believe is a great value added.
Marcos, to just take that one step further, again, the school I was with last week, they have created their own little NGO, not officially, but in the school, where they are creating artwork connected to what they've been working on, and they're selling the artwork and donating the money. And they decide who they want to donate to and what they want to do with the money. So literally these 9 and 10-year-olds are doing exactly what you just said. And it's all recorded there in the portfolio.
Yeah, I don't see a better way to learn the core academics.
So the Boundless journey, what we've got at the moment, and we will grow as Boundless Life grows as well. What we offer is Boundless Care, Boundless Early Years, and Boundless Foundational Years. So care is for the 1 to 2.5 year 1 and 2-year-olds, maybe up to 3.5. We always have a little bit of leeway because kids develop at different paces. Some will develop faster in some areas, some will be slower in some areas. We want to ensure that we support children at the level that they are at. And Boundless Early Years is for 3 to 6 year olds, 3.5 to 6 year olds. And then we go into the foundational years. And in foundation, it will be equivalent to grade or year 1, 2, and 3 in a mixed age classroom, and then 4, 5, and 6, or in other words, 7 to 9 year olds together, and then 10 to 12 year olds together. And one of the reasons that we have this is because we have mixed age classes and mixed age groups. I'm not even going to say classes because of everything we do. Marcus, if you move one forward. So the multi-age classes and the multi-age learning, as is put here, it really empowers kids to learn at their own pace. If you have just a single age, kids are more likely, and teachers are more likely to teach, you know, down the middle road, what works for most of the kids. And there are some kids below and above that might or might not be reached. But when you have the multi-age learning, that's where it becomes truly personalized. And not only the mentors in our learning centers support, but the kids learn from each other. The younger children, they learn by observing, they learn by mimicking, they learn by collaborating with the elders. They learn by literally just watching what the older kids are doing. And the older kids will take care of the younger ones, and they learn, they develop responsibility, they develop their leadership skills. But I think for me, one of the biggest things is I have noticed, and I've started many multi-age early learning centers and schools. And the biggest thing, what I've noticed, is more respect for each other. And there aren't so many instances of bullying when you have this multi-age groups, because they learn from each other, they respect each other, and they understand each other. So that's an important part of the multi-age as well. So what are quests? When we talk about our system, we have quests at the heart of it. And the quests are interdisciplinary units of learning. And to make a connection with the kids and with what's happening in the real world, we have based these around the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And a lot of schools talk about the UN Sustainable Development Goals, but they are a poster on the wall, an occasional nod to, oh, this is connected to, you know, education or poverty or hunger. But when we are creating a quest where all the learning and all the experiences that the kids get are based around a certain UN Sustainable Development Goal, that's when these kids can find a connection and find purpose. They understand that, this is what it's about. And they actually take action. Like the little boy, some of the other responses were that they understood why ivory trade wasn't a good thing, and they took action as to what they can do to stop it. So it's a very, very real connection, and it makes them think not only about the present, but it makes them think of the future as well. When we have a whole week and we have lots of ways to reach our kids, and when we want to break away from a very traditional schooling system, what we have created are these different times within the school. So you have a connection time where they start the day with connecting with each other, with connecting with their teacher, their mentor. And this can happen in a park. In Sintra, we've got this amazing national park that the school is, the learning center is in the center of. And to have the kids go out there, when I was visiting Sintra with Rekha, we had a rooster early in the morning. We were sitting there and planning, and there was this rooster there and all these birds. It was a beautiful, beautiful, very calming experience. We want the children to start with that. to have that lovely experience when they come in and at the end of the day as well. And then we have mastery time. And mastery time is those concepts that every child needs to learn in the different subjects. We have a responsibility to our kids to teach them, to support them. And that happens in the mastery time. The quest time is when we bring in the interdisciplinary learning, when we bring in the UN Sustainable Development Goals, where the kids work collaboratively and they get the skills that will be needed in life. And then we have genius time. And this is based on Google's 20% time, when the kids get to dedicate that time to their own passions, to become experts, to create meaningful works, whatever it is that they are passionate about, and finding that, because that's what's going to prepare them again for the future, to give them a view and the opportunity to try different things there in that genius time, to explore. Is it that I want to create an electric car? Let me find out more about this. Or do I want to be a professional sports person? Let me find out about that. Or do I want to be, an environmentalist? So that's the opportunity where they can explore all these different areas. And nature time, when we have our destinations in these amazing places and access to beaches and forests and amazing nature, we have very focused time where we go out into the local nature, into the local parks, whatever is available, the beach. I think Marcos and Mauro, the CEO, are going to teach the kids to surf because they're both passionate surfers. So using what we have there, the nature, what's available there, is very, very important. And then culture. We're living in these different countries. We've got the destinations in different countries. Why would we not access and leverage the amazing culture that's around us? Again, when we went Sintra, we met some grandmas and we talked them into coming to the educational center to actually bake with the kids. And they didn't speak a word of English. And we thought, what an amazing experience for the grandmas there and the kids to be able to bake together, that they learn from each other, and just that joy that you would get there. So absolutely leveraging on everything that is locally available and accessible is important. And then we have endeavor time. I jokingly said Marcos and Mauro would teach the kids to surf, but this is really true. When we have parents who are experts in their field, who can work remotely, we want the parents involved. We want, when your parents come into school, the kids feel so proud, they love it, and they have that extra time. So encouraging parents to come in and share their expertise in coding or surfing or whatever it is, football, anything, with the kids, art, name it, and we can do it. And these will differ from one destination to the other. This is just a really simple example of how we would structure the day. So we start with the connection time, we have the mastery, go into questing, and then the afternoons are all about these wonderful experiences. And parents have the flexibility to come in and out. But one thing I've dreamed in my more than 30 years as an educator, I've always wanted to have this 10-day rotation where one day in every 2 weeks is a field trip. And the field trip is connected to something that the kids do. And just having these experiences out there to be able to take the kids out there and learn from what's around them. I can't wait to see this in action. This is our education center in Sintra. And actually that's the little people there, Reka and myself, when we went there to plan. And everything around it is a national park. Absolutely fabulous. And the location is amazing. So we have all of the groups in this building. We have the outside play area, and then we have access to everything around it. And I think on the website, Marcos, is there a video on the website?
For that video, it's not on the website yet, but okay. Will be on our YouTube channel very soon with the latest videos shot in Sintra by our team. Yes.
So that will, oh, I'm sure if you send Marcos a message, he will
just
share that with you.
go on YouTube, Boundless Life, and you have that very soon. There are already a few videos there. Yeah.
Lovely. And then the whole of Boundless Education, we want to provide a safe and holistic environment that develops the whole child and cultivates a love for learning. That is the heart of it. And I'm also conscious of the time.
Yes.
What we have is accreditation. And even though we are starting with just the early years in primary, we are already looking at accreditation. As an educator, I feel, and Boundless Life also has this, that we have a responsibility to the kids. We want to give them all these amazing experiences, but we also have to ensure that we're giving them the education that they deserve. And we've already been in talks with NIASC and WASC and also with CIS to start the accreditation process. And usually you have to have a school established already to start this. But they're so in awe of what Boundless Life is doing that they have already started the conversations. And as soon as we open in Sintra, we will get that first step with NIASC that we are considered working towards the accreditation. And as we grow, we will grow on to CIS, and that's Council of International Schools. And I actually have been through all these accreditations with various schools, and they're very respected. NIASC and WASC are North American and very respected in the international school world. And CIS is has a wider blanket for what we do.
Yeah, the idea is really to bring some peace of mind, especially for parents removing their children from the traditional system, right? It's not that it's really necessary to have an accreditation for early years. You know, kids can just transit from one country to another, and you know, usually what they need to do is show that they are capable to join a specific class if they want to go back to the traditional system, which we believe will not be the case, hopefully, of many of them. But the accreditations are there to say, hey, you know, it's also official.
Yeah.
So
and also it gives us a platform, like Marcos, we were saying, that it gives us a platform when we grow to middle years and to senior to high school. We've already been accredited, so they know that what we're doing is really solid. So the next steps will be a lot easier then. So very important to us.
Yes. Well, Suzanne, thank you so much for joining us and taking the time to go through all that information about the Boundless Education system. We're so fortunate to have you supporting, you know, the building of this amazing system. Now, just to wrap up, you know, I want to say Boundless Life is launching Sintra, Portugal in February. We're pretty much full first week of February. And then next year, we're expanding to 3 to 5 destinations in South of Europe. Okay, we are focused in South of Europe next year. So we look into Italy, south of Spain, south of France, Croatia, Greece, and even maybe Morocco. Those destinations are actually chosen, and the founding families influence the next destination. So we have a team already ready to go and set up the same structure we are setting up in Sintra to host the first families there. And I mentioned founding families a couple of times in this presentation. So founding families, you know, Boundless Life is really a movement born in the community, by the community, and for the community. And we understand how important our first families are for us to make sure that Boundless Life becomes the movement we envision. And this is why we created this special offer for those who, like us, strongly believe that, you know, the Boundless Life is the lifestyle of the future and a catalyst to make the world a better place. We really believe in that. So founding families will benefit from lifetime status and multiple privileges. They will influence, as I mentioned, the choice of future destinations, amenities. They will act some sort of board of advisors representing the entire community and helping us grow the way we should grow to support a maximum of families. So if anyone is interested in learning more about what it takes to become a founding family, they can go on our website and sign up to our wait list or book a call with us. Just visit boundless.life. Okay. So we have 4 minutes here. I want to thank everybody very much for attending this keynote. I hope it was interesting for all of you. And, I see some questions here. Let me see if we have some time. Some of you want to connect and collaborate. Be happy to do so. You can just look me up on LinkedIn. Marcos, you can just put Marcos Boundless Life and you find me. Some comments here, reinforcing comments about, it's essential to get out of the silos.
Thank you, Oliver. Those are really important ones.
Yes, exactly. Let me see if I missed anything. Some questions were answered about our destination. So I think we're good here. No other questions. You guys feel free to, I have a couple of minutes still, but otherwise maybe we can wrap up and see you soon around the world, right?
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, very much. Thanks, Suzanne.
Thank you.
And I think tomorrow we'll be presenting again on another part of the event. I just need to take a closer look at that and see when it is. But this has been an amazing event. Congratulations to all the organizers and hope to meet you guys soon. Take care, everybody.